Many times when I meet my patients, after 3 months, they come and talk to me, give their feedback. Doctor, I am following your diet, and after that, I am so strict about the diet that I stopped going to the party so that I don't get to eat those. I don't get the trigger. Even I don't go through those streets where my favorite restaurant is there. So I don't invite anybody to my house because then I have to offer them dinner and they will not like my food. So I made a lot of changes in them. I'm very strict, and my blood sugar has reduced, my blood pressure has reduced, my body weight also reduced, and also my desire to live also reduced a little bit. So I don't want that your desire to live should reduce. For that, I want to invite Surjit ji on the stage. Sir, you have to come on the stage. So he did this experiment on his own, being on this diet, and he got cured. He will tell his story. But then he ensured that he should not reduce the desire to live. So he found a cheating way, right? He knows exactly when to cheat, how much to cheat, so that still he maintains every parameter, and he is able to go to the party and bring people. Maybe today also you are bringing some of us to your house, right? And he told that today he is going to give, along with DIP, VIP also, right? So he knew exactly what to do, how to do. So, sir, I want that you should share your story in your own words.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Suriji, Samita Panji, Mr. Raja Muruganji, and Ambassador Staff, many of my friends, ladies and gentlemen. In shortcut, I will tell, because I have told this story to many of you, but some of them who has not heard, maybe they can take it. Till 2017, December 15th, for last 10 years, approximately 8 to 9 years precisely talking, I was diabetic. And I, as all of you who are on pills, once they start, it start from one pill and then keep on building. Yeah, keep on increasing. I had reached around 7, 8 different kind of pills, because diabetic, BP, and then some liver problems and some kidney problems also had started. But one big problem has started that my foot, they were turning to be a diabetic foot. And there, some scientific terms are there, some neuropathic condition or something, I don't know. But mainly I was having no feeling or sensation, neither of chill nor of heat. And the same thing was occurring with my mother for the last 20-25 years. I have seen her crying and this and that, and ultimately she was having no feeling. And I had some friends also who has gone from here. Our friend Mr. Vasu is here, and we are having a common friend Mr. KP Singh. They know his foot was also amputated because of diabetes. So when I learned that this is a genetic, but in a way that if my mother has got an amputation, it means I will also be reaching the same end. But I was having treatment from doctors from India and here also, particularly from the Nanta hospital. They were very close friends and top of the departments, head of the departments. So they were treating me and they were increasing my pills. And I should say that somewhere in March 2017, when they saw my reports, which are as an evidence, my HbA1C was something 8.7, 8.9. It means my fasting sugar was around 200 or maybe 170. And though my wife, whenever she was seeing that my face is not looking good, she was always in the morning with this glucometer. And that she wanted to take my reading, and she was telling me, look, today is 200, today is 180, today is 175. And the question is, we were testing after 3 months or after 6 months, we were taking full blood spectrum. And there I was showing that postprandial was something around 380 or something 350, some 270. But it was normally in between 300 and 400. And I was not knowing in medical terms what this is, because we never paid any attention what these numbers and this and that. We were only listening from doctor that you are sick and you are now diabetic has increased, and now they said that you have to go to insulin. And they had started also one injection called Trulicity. And then later on learned that that is also a sort of insulin. I was very much worried because my mother was on insulin, and I heard that whoever once to insulin, then he cannot come back. And then insulin, I heard that this is like the biggest cause of causing cancer. And she was having this cancer, that's why ulcer and this and that, that's why her foot was amputated. It was really horrible. I was thinking what to do. My doctor said, don't come back to us because it was spoiling our reputation. Or you reduce your HbA1c. And I made a regular insulin sportsman also. And my family know, my wife know, I was still doing a lot of walk. But weight was not coming down much, something hardly 1 kg, 2 kg. But you can say, sugar was the same. My BP was used to be around in the range of 100. The lower side we call, I think, diastolic or systolic. And the higher side was always used to be in the morning hour around 145, 155, 160. So this was used to be all this. And I was worried. Then one more thing has started, even one floor, when I was rising, I was doing one floor and I was really huffing. And these kind of complications are coming up. And I was in a doldrum what to do now. So cut story short, one day, I remember exactly December 2017, December 8th. It was Friday and I came across a video sent on a group. It was named Blood Sugar Live Experiment. 99% of us, when we get some this kind of many videos posted by many people, and these are mostly fake. And without seeing, we are now used to delete it. So I also was deleting this kind of things because Friday, and what happened when I wanted to delete this, just this thing clicked to me, live word clicked me. What live in this? So I said, okay, let me see it. When I started seeing Dr. Biswaroop, he was with a paper in his hand and in the presentation, and presentation was in Series 4 auditorium, which we are used to hold our Vaisakhi programs also. So that also increased my interest a little bit because the people sitting there, some of them were known. Now, after seeing that video, you could also see, I got a little bit convinced that what he's talking, I was expecting it like Neem Hakim, okay, giving some nuksas and this and that and trying to make some money on YouTube and this and that. But when I thought of this, I thought it's very scientific things. The approach is very scientific. And then he mentioned also for the treatment of diabetic type 1 and type 2, he showed some video on his website. So there was another video, how to cure diabetic type 1 and type 2. So that was a longer video, around 2.5 hours. So then I went to that video. And I repeatedly saw that video 3 times. I got convinced that whatever he is talking is total science. It's not just poverty. So then I consulted my doctors back home, particularly Medanta doctors. One is here, I don't know the name. He said, they sent me a answer. It's in my mobile phone till today, I kept it. It's a fraud. Don't listen to him. Diabetic and hypertension cannot be cured. You have to take treatment for lifetime. And what we gave you is right. And even if something happens, we are here. That's the actual product from the doctor. Now I was back to square. Now what to do? It means again insulin. But then my son Ajayjit and Indrajit, I took their help. I said, because they can do some better search on internet. Let's try to study whatever he has said, what are the references giving, are they true or wrong. After 4 or 5 days, both of them they came up, but that seems to be okay because everything seems to be existing here. I got one. I said, I'll start it. But when I would start VIP diet, the prescription he gave in that one video was a little bit different what he said today. The prescription number 1 was, it was actually for the patients like me, not for insulin or I should say, which are very acute disease. Patient like me, to stop all the medicines. Now, hypertension, daily tablets, sugar daily tablet, 3, 4, 5, 7, this supplements, this and that, and insulin. And my doctor is, this Trulicity, and my doctor is forcing me to insulin. Now, health is mine, stop all the medicine, frightening. But the number 2 was more frightening, much more frightening, which you have just heard, and also you are shocked. Number 2, breakfast. multiply your weight by 10, and whatever the figure comes equal to that, grams, eat fruit and eat sweet fruits. And my doctor was saying me, don't eat fruit because, okay, they are saying don't eat sugar, don't eat fried things, but I said don't eat fruits. And when you have some money, they allow 50 gram or 100 gram fruit, okay, but 25 kind of fruit restrictions also are there. Don't eat banana, don't eat chiku, don't eat mango, don't eat this, no sugar can use. We can't even remember those many medicines, those many fruits which are restricted. And he is saying multiple times that you eat banana, you eat mango, and I had not eaten mango for maybe 7-8 years. I said, okay. But that was very frightening, 1300 gram of fruit, because I was by that time 127 kg, and from one of his given chart, I could find out that my index is falling to be 1300 gram. Now imagine 1300 gram of fruit, and that also. But he is saying minimum 4 times. This is not restricted that it should be only 4 times. And he said, what are the cheaper, what is the, you can say, season fruit is there. These things, anyhow, in his longer videos, you can see more details, 20 times or 2 less. Anyhow, coming to the point. And the third thing was exactly the same thing, 2 plates. And another thing, finish your dinner before 8 o'clock. And or VIP diet, well understood. But 2 things were verified. And I said, either Kuan, either Khai. What to do? I said, I'll take decision. I will go with Dr. Biswaroop. So what I did, first day when I remember, he said, but how to do, because I tried to contact him through email, through this and that, not reachable. Now no doctor in front of me, and my doctor was saying, it's a fraud. Imagine the situation, and health is my body. It's not any animal or any third party, you know. Because doctor, they are not giving pills to themselves, they are giving to you. Anyhow, so then I started on 50, I went to my doctor here, and I said, doctor, make my all tests. He said, you tested only 2 months back. I said, test it again. He tested me, I came home. I came home and I took around 400, 500, 600 gram of fruit because I was frightening, shivering also. And I thought maybe something will happen, and kept glucometer with me. I said, if something will happen, I'll test if it's rising to 3, 4, 500, I eat tablet. So when I ate it, I sat around half an hour, I couldn't just, psychologically I started feeling maybe something is happening, and I took pill. But what happened, because, and lunchtime also I took some salad, but little bit, and I said, I will see tomorrow. By the time my reports were also come. And the reports were the same like before. But what happened, second day when I checked my sugar, it was used to be around 180, 190 or 200. That drastically fall, despite of I had the normal dinner, no, I should say abnormal dinner which we are normally taking. Normally he told us now. So I thought my sugar is low today, maybe some reason. But then that day, I thought, this is the effect of those fruits, which I took little. But next day then, I decided, one young man is sitting here, and Mr. Pavneesh, he is also from our sponsor, thanks to him, he is from Dubai. And he had to come that day to me. But in the morning, I took full dose of fruits, 1300 grams. It was very difficult, eyes were going to fall out. But then lunch, I took salad, again, chewing this, and mouth pains also, but I took full salad. And then after that, वो रोटी वाली बात one roti and some dal बड़ी मुश्किल से होनी थी जैसे डॉक्टर बोलते हैं. And then evening, of course, he came. I had done that, but in the evening I sat with him. But it was around 11 o'clock. I thought, no, my wife is not here. Maybe I'll not wake up in the morning. Maybe it didn't affect me in the morning, but at night maybe I'll not wake up in the morning. I again at night took one pill. This is the fear inside us. And by the next day, when I wake up, my blood sugar is 120. It was used to be that much, and with one pill then I took the decision, I'm okay. So I then started from 16th of December, 17th of December, I started with discipline. Now what happened? I chose another method which is very important if anybody want to choose this VIP diet, and he's on pills, and he's on insulin, what doctor said. I started that I will take 4 times my readings, one fasting, one after breakfast, then one after lunch, one after dinner. And I will used to take pictures of them and keep it record in my mobile phone. And I will take 2 readings of my BP. One morning when I wake up, one during the day when I am in action. Now I found from the 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, this means around 72 hours, you can check, it is recorded still now in my mobile, the pictures of those all. My diabetic was, I was really normal. And my BP was almost came within the day, and really I started feeling I'm very energetic. So in 10 days time, I was almost stabilized. There was hardly anything, and I was not taking pills from that day, from 17th, and you have to remember. What happened? I went to my doctors. I went to India. I told them, brothers, what you have said me don't do, I have done it. They said, then they were, I don't know, they were angry. I said, you will be angry. You're my friends also. I have come, they said, no, what do you want from us? I said, I want help. I have done it, I have jumped. I want you to now tell me what will happen with me. Because I am taking these all kind of food, what will happen with me? They said, what will happen with you? We told you, don't do. I said, my request, write all kind of tests. Whatever to tell today you have. I will make all the tests. And then, if I will compare with my 10 days old test, if it is better, it means I am going on a better route. If it is worse, I will stop it. By myself, because I cannot reach him. So what happened, sir, when those tests came, it came on 18 pages. They wrote that many tests. And I then showed the test to him, and they were thinking, okay, these are better, but we don't know how it happened, or what is this and that. I said, but what's the reason? He said, look, as it is better, you continue. We will see after 1 month. Exactly after 1 month, I again did the tests, same test. It was much better. And again, after 1 month, it means I completed 3-month diet. I took again all those tests, and they were 100% okay, including my all vitamins and what vitamin D, which was always used to be so low that doctors are giving me sacks. So without a single pill, after 3 months, I stopped keeping this record of the pictures. And from that day, I have not taken a single pill or single medicine. Moreover, I should say like this, I never needed even a Panadol, which we were used to say, okay, at least Panadol. No? As I did it. And I'm saying this on full record, I have all the proof of this. And moreover, now I never feel sick. Otherwise, whenever I used to go India, 3-4 days because of pollution or something, I was used to feel sick, and when I used to come here, I got record of that also. 1 week, 10 days, eating lot of pills, lot of antibiotics. And now I never feel sick. I recommend you not only this thing, 2-3 things I want to recommend you. Dr. Biswaroop had very little time today and yesterday also. This is not enough. His research is vast. For that, he have hundreds of videos loaded on YouTube and in Facebook. You need to see those videos carefully. Every video has something new and a lot of explanation. I could have put one question, because time is too short. Doctor, why not take milk? It is in our Vedas for centuries. Right? A question. Explain scientifically. And believe me, when he will explain you that scientifically, and there should be some doctors sitting here also, and the explanation, even a layman will understand that. Will be correct. Scientifically. He taught everything scientifically, though I'm not a doctor, but then I attended his camp when I was all okay. After 4 months of starting this diet, then one camp I could roll in. When I went there, they said, we studied your reports. The first day he interacted with all the people. I recommend that also for those people who are heavily diabetic or are having some stunts or BP or a heart problem, they should attend he used to hold 72-hour diabetic tour. That is then proper cure. And 99%, 95% people, if I reduce it to less, 90% I can say we're 30. They leave all their medicines there itself within 3 days. And they go back without medicines. I'm talking those who are patients only, they attended. So he can attend that course, go to his website. And he has a very, very good app that is 72-hour practice. And we can get connected to that also. And that is also true. There is no money. It's a very easy thing. And so what I want to say, you should, with great patience, read to watch movies. How many hours? 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. If even somebody whispers, we say, I'm watching movie. But when we want to watch a video, some mobile phone comes, some this person comes, oh, we get bored immediately, stop it. No. You watch his video repeatedly and you will become a doctor of your own. And that is what now we, my children, my wife, our daughter, she, and not only that family, I can name some politicians and many of my friends, they then saw me, okay, this man was like this, but what happened to him? Within 2-3 months only. And they also started following, I don't want to name anybody. But one of them is Mani, she also, I will request you, because this is a nice time, I will request you to just share your experience. She also had this experience, and I will request you to share this experience. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How much weight did you reduce? Excuse me. How much weight did you reduce?
I should say, first month I reduced around 9 to 10%.
Oh.
Second month, it should almost 10 kg. Second month was around 6 to 7 kg. Third month around 5 to 6 kg. And after that, I'm stable from that day. And I don't want to reduce more.
Hello, good evening everybody. My story is actually very short and sweet. My diabetes, it actually started when we were in Australia, so I got tested. So it was a little bit on the high side, and I thought it is because of the stress of moving from Egypt to Australia in like just a week, like we went to India, then 2 days there, went to Australia, and then I didn't like Australia at all because it was just too far. So I went there, the doctor was very good, so he prescribed the medication for me. I took it for a sort of month or so, and then after a month, it actually sort of, he reduced it. But then I was taking, that 500 mg of medicine, and when we came here, at that time also I was taking that medication. And here again, when I went to the doctor said, your sugar is a little bit on the high side, 500 mg won't do, you need to take another pill in the evening. And I don't like to take medications, not too much, a little bit is okay, but not too much. And I was a bit resistant. So anyway, those were the days we met Sukhjit, and he told me about this diet, and I was kind of convinced. And like Surjit, I started the diet, but then I said no, with the glucometer and everything, I said no, I'll still take my medicine. So I was taking my medicine and doing this. I don't call it a diet, it's a lifestyle, because you're eating everything. You're eating your second plate and you're drinking also, right? So it's a lifestyle. And I also occasionally, sort of, a glass of wine, take a drink, we socialize so much. So it's like, the social evenings and everything. So I started this like quite religiously. I got a scale and I would say, okay, I must eat so much of fruit. And my sugar was not really coming down. And then again, when I shared it with Sujit said, don't take the medicine. And then Naveep also told me, Mani, why are you taking the medicine? So I said, no, I'm a bit scared. He says, nothing will happen to you. And anyway, your sugar is not very high. So for a few days, don't take the medicine. So I stopped taking the medicine at all, did the diet, and I would say I was not like Sujit, like, 3-4 times in a day. I would just, once in 2-3 days, I will just check my sugar, and I realized my sugar level was actually coming down. So I am not taking the medicine. I didn't tell my doctor, because when I go to my doctor, he will say, take the medicine. So I said, okay, I still have boxes of medicine. I'm still not telling him. I said, I'm on this experimental thing. My sugar is coming down, and it has come down. So with me, this is the thing. And not only for me, and then Nadeem saw me, and now actually it has become a lifestyle diet. Again, not diet. It's a lifestyle kind of thing for us. We eat fruits in the morning, plenty of fruits, not 4 kinds. I don't know. I tend to include different colors of fruits, so maybe 6, 7 colors of fruits. That's the diet in the morning. In the afternoon, plenty of salad. My sugar has gone a little bit high because now Deep is sharing that salad and fruit with me. So I think I need to go on that scale and take the right amount of fruit, and my sugar will come again to the normal level. But this is our style, in the morning it's just fruits, not even a toast. I take just a wee bit of milk, just a droplets I would say, to make my coffee a little white. I'm middle pressure, so my coffee little white with a few drops of milk, and everything is good. I went to my doctor, he's after me, do your test, you must test. And I'm just avoiding it. He says, oh, I'll send the guy home, he'll take your blood and everything. So, but I really, really believe in this thing, and it really works wonder. It has done a wonder for me. My sugar is in control, and energy level always high, always feel good. I take my BP medicine, but after hearing Dr. Swaroop, I am actually going to take off my BP medicine also off for a few days. I'll check my BP, but otherwise all good, diabetes is good, and I think lifestyle, we all should think of it. It's very scientific. Thank you, and thank you.
You can release it, and it looks like this. It is I call it a diabetes chessboard. So you play chess, and your chessboard will tell you your chessboard will it is okay for you, and this side is the chessboard.
Like Ludo.
It is like a chess.
Yeah?
Not a Ludo. You have to play like a chess. Exactly like chess. The only difference is both sides it is you, number 1, and number 2, it is having only 2 coins instead of so many, right? In chess, how many it is? I think 16, right? So it is 2, one is the red side, one is the green side, and it takes about 3 days to play. And within 3 days, this is having a calculation which I am going to demonstrate now, and you will know exactly how much to taper the insulin in the medicine, and what will be the prediction for the next day's blood sugar, right? If I taper now, and that is something in a medical journal. If you see my research paper, that is a very long research paper, complicated, but this will make even a layman can understand how to taper the medicine and still keep the blood sugar in response to the food, right? So thanks that you being a part of this launch. How to decide how much medicine you have to reduce, taper down. So, and how to decide when to stop the medication. So that calculation is there with this game, for which you don't need any medical background, you just need to know how to play chess. So it is I call it a diabetes chess game, and the research paper is one research paper which published last month only in the month of May, biomedical research, and that is the name of the journal, and one which published 2 years back. So I combined, these are all 2 of my research, I combined the result, but I made it into a game so that it can be told to the normal layman's language, right? Scientific language you want to know, you have to go to the research paper. Layman's language, you play the game. So now I'll just take 10 minutes to demonstrate how to use it. So You have to just concentrate on what I am saying, and this video I will upload within few days in YouTube also. So if you have any confusion, you can go back to my YouTube channel and you will be able to see it once again. At that time you just have to hold this in your hand and you have to go for a just referring to the video. So step 1, imagine that you are a diabetes patient with taking lot of insulin multiple time or some medication multiple time. So X amount of medication, X amount of insulin. So here this green, there are two sides of it, right? Normally it is in chessboard, just relate to it, two sides of it. There are two competitors, right? Two participants. This is the green zone. For this you have a green, what you call as coin. Can you see the coin? Yeah. And this is a red zone, and for that I have a red coin, right? So first chance will get the green coin, and the second chance always the red coin. So where to start? Which color? Green, and followed by red, then green, then red. Same like chess, right? The only thing is that both sides you have to play. So the first, let's say tomorrow morning you want to start the DIP diet. So tomorrow morning what should be your insulin, what should be your medication? So that first rule. So always for everybody by default the starting point is this day 1. Can you see day 1? And tomorrow if you start, tomorrow is your day 1. So day 1 you start your DIP diet. So this green zone coin you have to put at start point here. You take and pick it up and put it there. Clear? Yeah, on this place. This is start. This, can you see that written there? What it implies, it just means on day 1 you have started the DIP diet, and day 1 by default you have to reduce your medication or insulin exactly by 50%. This is by default, first day is by default. Let's say you are taking 1000 mg metformin, then you will break the tablet equally, or you will buy 500 mg and then you take that in the same time. Let's say you are taking insulin 2 times a day, one long acting in the night 20 unit and fast acting actrapid in the morning say 10 unit. So this means the 10 unit will make it 5 and the 20 unit make it 10 unit. Yeah. Whatever you are taking, whatever time you are taking, that remains the same. The only thing is dosage is reduced by 50% on the day 1. This is the starting point, right? So you, I am talking of diabetes medication. Yes, only diabetes. This is only for diabetes medication. Similar game I am producing for blood pressure also, but today the launch of diabetes medication, especially for diabetes type 1 patient who take 4 times insulin, 5 times insulin, and they land up in hypoglycemic stage, right? So at least once a month, that is really dangerous. So for them, how to know exactly, how to predict exactly how much insulin, how much medicine is required to keep it in a healthy range, right? Step 1. And now on the first day when you are on DIP diet, no cheating is expected from you, exactly the same formula which I gave. So this is based on assumption that you are following exactly the DIP diet which I just explained, at least in the first 3 days during the tapering period, right? So this green zone is all about what you have to do the whole day, what to eat, including food which is the DIP diet and including medicine which is 50%. This percentage is in relation to the medication. This percentage is for medication only, right? Now the whole day you are on DIP diet and on 50% medication. So this means you put the coin on here. This coin you have to play every day at 10 p.m. If you see that coin on the other side, it is written 10 p.m. So it is at 10 p.m. This means it is a time when you have to put that coin on the red zone on day 1. If the day 1 is not yet ended, day 1 10 p.m. is the time for the red coin, right? So now red coin on day 1, where you will place? So these are the boxes where you can place based on your blood sugar. Take your blood sugar at 10 p.m. If your blood sugar is between 0 to 120 mg per deciliter, place it here, right? And if it is between 250 to 300, place it here. Wherever it is, you have to place it there, right? If it is between 350 to 450, you have to place it here. If it is more than 450, then it becomes foul. Foul means you are doing something incorrectly in taking DIP diet. This means you stop there, right? This means this method is not for you. So you abandon on the first day itself. So this is a foul zone. If any time in the play during the first 4 days, first 3 days, if you fall on any of these, this zone, this means this game is not for you. You are doing something drastically wrong, or something else is happening in your body which is unpredictable. So, and that may be 1% of the diabetes patient. If 100 diabetes patients is playing, maybe 1% of them need to abandon on the first, second or third day, right? Other than that, if you whatever reading you get, at 10 p.m. you place the coin. So day 1, on the first in the morning, you have to place green coin, and in the night, based on your blood sugar, you have to place red coin. For example, red coin, right? Say if it is between 120 to 170, you are placing here. If it is between 250 to 350, you are placing here. So you cannot place it on your own. It is based on the reflection what is showing in the blood sugar reading. That's all. So now day 1, 10 p.m. This is your chessboard. Now go to sleep. Wait for day 2. Day 2 in the morning, early morning, you get up and visit your chessboard. It will look like this. Right? Now is the turn for which coin? Which color? Green. To move it to day 2, remember one rule, whenever you move to next day, you have to place the green coin exactly in the same row as of the red coin. Red coin is in this row, so you have to place in front of this on day 2. This means you have to place it here, right? Had it been if the coin had it been here, so this means you have to place it here. So the decision where to place the green coin is not random. It is based on where is the red coin placed on the previous night. Clear? And that is always by default for rest of the days. Only on the first day when you started, that day red coin was placed nowhere, so by default you place there. Till now, no confusion, simple. So this time maybe a patient, his coin is placed here, so this means he has to place his green coin here. No confusion. So if you place here, this means it is an indication you have to follow the rule written on this box. Now you see what rule is written in the box. DIP diet B. DIP diet B. So you have to follow DIP diet is also of 2-3 kinds. One is DIP diet B, that is what you have to follow on day 2. What is DIP diet B? The same rule as DIP diet, only one change, and that change is that the plate 2, that is cooked food, you are allowed to eat only once a day. You decide when you want to eat, and the amount of cooked food should be limited to this formula, your body weight into 2. My body weight is 70 kg. If I have to eat DIP diet B, I have to eat plate 2 not more than 140 grams. I am not saying for rest of the life, only for this day, right? Because I am tapering down. And on day 2, the amount of medicine you need to take. How to decide? That is, this is in the row where it's 75%. This means you have to increase it by 75%, right? Maybe had it been the red coin on here, that means you are asked to reduce by 25%. Instead of taking 100 unit, you are taking 25 unit only. Getting it clear? Yeah. So this means every day deciding what kind of diet and what kind of medicine, right? For what kind of diet, look at that the box, and for what kind of medicine in the same row the percentage. Clear? So now the day 2 in the whole day you followed the diet DIP diet B, and you followed the medication which says 75% of the medication which you are taking previous to this game, right? Original, right? Now it is the night time at 10 p.m. So now what you need to do? You take a test, blood sugar test, and that blood sugar test will indicate where you have to shift this coin on day 2's box. Okay? It can be anything, right? Say it can be this. Your blood sugar has really come down between 120 to 170, so you are placing it here. So day 2 work is done, 10 p.m. I am going to sleep. Now you will get up on day 3. So day 3 when you get up, now it is your responsibility to put this coin in the day 3, any of them. So where you will place? A. Yeah, obviously. So you will place A. This means on day 3 you are asked to eat a diet which is DIP diet A. What is DIP diet A? Very similar to DIP diet B, that you are required to eat plate 2 only once a day, but there is no formula. Plate 2 is allowed as much as you want, right? So based on your metabolism, this is the diet created, but how much medicine you are asked to take? Only 25%. This means if you are taking 1000 mg of metformin, how much? 250, right? Mg of metformin. You break it in small portion and then consume, or take a smaller dose of medicine if it is available. So that is on day 3, the whole day you followed the diet and the medication, and now it is the day 3 night. Again, blood sugar. So this coin you have to place from day 2 to day 3. So let's say it can be coming anything. Let's say it is the same thing. It comes on day 2 night also, it is between 120 to 170. This means you place the coin here, and when you get up on day 4, so day 4 you will place the coin in the same row as the red coin, right? And this is the day 4. You see, there is in the red zone there is only day 3, but in the green zone there is one more day, extra day, that is day 4. Day 4 is the final day. Day 4, wherever is your coin, which coin, which color coin? That becomes your diet for next 1 month, and that becomes your medicine final medicine for next 1 month. Let's say on day 4 this coin is at this place, right? So this means I am telling from day 4 to day 30 you are required to consume medicine, that is 25%, and you are about the diet, follow day 2 diet. This means you go back and see what you ate on day 2. This means you have to understand, you have to remember on day 2 where you kept your coin. Wherever you kept your coin on day 2, that is what I want you to take for next 30 days, and wherever your coin is on day 4, right? So that is the percentage of medicine I want you to take for next 1 month. Is that clear? Right? So it can be 25%, for many of you it can be 0%, for many of you it can be 50%, anything. Right? Similarly, it can be DIP diet, it can be DIP diet A, B, C, it can be anything depending on how the body is responding. For 70% of you, the coin by day 4, it will come here, 70% or 80%. This means they are asked to take how much medicine? 0. And asked to take what? DIP diet, simple, the basic diet. Right? This means they are free from medication. They need not to worry about checking blood sugar, they need not to taking medication. They are free already, as it happened in case of Surjit ji. Right? But that will happen only to 70% of the people, 70 or 80% of people. Rest about 20-30% of people, it will not fall here, it will fall somewhere in the other box. But wherever it falls, that is what you have to do for 1 month, and after 1 month again you play the game for 3 days. So maybe for 20% people it may take 1 month to be free of medication, right? And for 70% it may take about 3 days to get free of medication. But one thing is sure, that it may take within 1 month to 3 months, whether it is insulin or medication, ultimately you will be free from it, right? So that is the simple game where you will at least prevent yourself to be falling into hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia. At least scientifically you will maintain in a healthy blood sugar range, right? Yes, similar thing for the hypertension, but here what we are calculating every day, we are getting the blood sugar values, right? But there what you have to do, you have to take every day blood pressure. So which kind of blood pressure, where to put, for that I have to design a similar kind of chessboard, which is not difficult, but I have a data of about 20,000 my patients. So based on their metabolism, I created a logics, right? So, and based on that, computerized then I made it simpler so that you can understand it, you can follow it, and you can manage your blood sugar within a healthy range without the intervention of your doctor, because anyway they are not going to help you in this, right? So I hope that you will use. And now this is what I use with my patient when they come to my diabetes tour, diabetes camp, right? But like Surjit ji, right, I have the same thought. I don't want to earn through this. Yes, definitely I want to earn, but if the person is distance place and they don't want to spend money and they don't have the money, how they will do it? So if this knowledge is reached to them, so they can safely do it, right? So my only intention is this knowledge to reach to them, and maybe you can help me in doing that by understanding, you applying for yourself, and if you are successful, then sharing this, and it is inexpensive, just a colored printout you can give to somebody. So, and with this I conclude my today's training, and you heard me. Thank you for that. And finally, before I open you for question and answer, I will request His Excellency, I have a small token for you. So please accept that from Indo-Vietnam Medical Board, and also if you can give your concluding remarks, so that will be really encouraging for all of us. So this is sir, concluding remarks.
I know it's getting late for everybody, so I'll just be very brief to say that this has been an absolutely fascinating session. I think all of us will agree that this is time well spent, and some really practical tips for us to take back. I think we owe it to ourselves to understand how our body works and how we can improve our response to whatever our body feels. And Dr. Biswaroop, I think Mani has already given away some of the family secrets. I think I'm sworn under the Official Secrets Act not to reveal anymore. So let me just say that I came to this session with a degree of healthy skepticism. You could consider me as one of those who will give this a very serious shot. I only take one medicine, which is for hypertension. I am looking to drop that.
Great.
And so maybe you've just given me the incentive that I needed to drop it.
Thank you.
Very easy way and practical way. My only question is that who are not diabetic and blood pressure, normal people also can go with this diet?
Of course, everybody should go on this diet because we want to prevent any kind of illness, not just diabetes and hypertension, right? So yesterday I told you hypertension is not a disease, it is just a symptom, right? It is just an indication that something else is wrong. So it is not a diet for particular disease, it is a diet to remain alive and healthy till the last day of your life. So I suggest that we all must be on similar kind of diet so that we prevent any kind of illness.
And number two, for the fruit, can we make a smoothie and take it, or eat only the raw fruit?
Yeah. You can customize it, right? For prevention, you can customize it, make a smoothie. But remember, when you drink it, you should take the same amount of time to drink as much you would have taken had you eaten that, right? So maybe somebody may ask a diabetes patient, can I drink sugarcane juice? I say yes. How many glass? I say 10 glass. But remember that had you eaten sugarcane with your teeth, then how much time you would have taken. So when you consume it as a juice, don't forget to take similar amount of time. If you just gulp it in 1 second, then it is unnatural. Your body is not designed to handle that amount of sugar in one go. So that you must remember, right? So that is the principle how the body is designed.
Thank you, doctor. And one more question only for Sujit.
So,
Sujit has explained everything. He didn't explain how to manage alcohol with this diet. This is my life. I was afraid of it. Actually, this question had come to me during in April when I had attended Dr. Chowdhury's first camp in Delhi. Because they were asking me, the first question people ask, we can drink or we have to stop it? You know, whoever is diabetic or whoever will be or this and that, the first thing will say, we have to stop drinking also. So I was not knowing that how to do it, but I just realized that together in doing it. But then I realized that I had seen extensive videos, and there I realized that what he's saying, how the enzymes can take care of the rough food, the bad food also. So I thought maybe they will take care of this bad food also.
So what I started, then I take, of course, moderate quantity, not like that. So in that, I started. So I started, after 57 years, when I come, I'm fine, I'm okay, and I have a good body. I will used to eat, the quantity of salad you mentioned, I will used to eat before that. So then, in 4 months' time, I had experience that even this drinking didn't affect me much. But of course, it affects if we take more quantity. In moderate quantity, I would advise, this is my personal, it's not coming from Dr. Chowdhury. This is my personal experience. So you eat the salad part of it, and then you can.
Great, great, wonderful.
This is not from Dr. Biswaroop.
I just want you to highlight on medicines like homeopathic and Ayurvedic. Normally they say it has no side effects, you can have it. So can you highlight on that?
Yeah, so first of all, the medicine, like homeopathic medicine, many times people, they take this medicine and I say, they ask me, do I need to take it or stop it? I say that it depends on your belief. And you see, belief also plays a big amount of role in our body, right? So if the patient has a faith on homeopathy, I never ask them to stop it, right? Because that faith also plays an important role, that he is taking something, right? But my personal view is that you don't need that, whether homeopathic or Ayurvedic, both of them you don't need, and technically you must stop all of them. Because when you are taking any of these, so you are interfering with the body's own mechanism, and you are interfering with the live enzyme which is coming. Right? So I want that it should not be interfered much. So if you, apart from the belief angle, which I try to understand when I interact with the patient, but to answer in one line, you must stop all of them.
Good evening, doctor.
Yes.
Thank you for this amazing session for all of us. 2 questions. Will this type also help people with arthritis, acute arthritis, and heart conditions also? That's our first question. I'll take a question, answer on that, and then.
Okay. Every time. But arthritis will take about 3 months' time. Heart will take about 1 month's time. So you have to have patience of 1 month. In blood sugar, it is 1 day, 2 days. So you don't need patience. You see immediate reflection of the glucometer. You have to have patience of 3 months. Every time it helps. I've never seen a case where it is not helping. When I say help, in 3 months, about 70% of relief, 70%. I'm not saying 100%. But 70% in 3 months is quite big, not small. And heart condition, in 1 month, the angina will vanish. And that itself is an indication the blockage is reduced or it is being eliminated. 1 month. Yes.
Second question, that's not related to this medical part. You are from Delhi and Delhi's neighborhood, but this question is in Bombay language. आपके नाम की सुपारी नहीं थी किसी ने?
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. Let me answer in the same language. So, कई बार कोशिश किया, but I have influential friends like Surjit ji, right? So there are, you see, I also believe the same thing as Surjit ji was saying, that we used to share this same thought, that if you are doing something really good for the people without any bad intention inside, hidden intention, so there are a lot of powers also which is protecting you without your knowledge, and sometimes those powers may be the patient who I have treated and they are quite powerful, right? So surely I have to face those challenges wherever I go, and they are quite big. So maybe sometime I'll tell those stories.
Doctor, I have some questions. My friend, Mr. Apurva, advised me to take these diets. I started that. So, after 3-4 days, I was feeling very energetic. And as this diet, it cleans our body, right? So, after 4-5 days or 10 days, you see my body started paining and my leg, I could not move, even climb the stairs. I was feeling very same, and immediately I went back to my routine food. So, what was the reason? Maybe last 15 years I am taking medicines. Maybe that or something else I have to do to come back to that.
Yeah, one important point which I did not include in this presentation, but since you have pointed it, let me include this. See here, I asked you to restrict certain things which you have been taking for the whole life, including dairy products. I say tea and coffee, stop it. Animal food, I stop it. Grains, reduce it to almost negligible. So the moment you stop those things which you have been used to taking it, and then in the first 1 week, for 10% of you, not all of you, the brain wants to remind you as if you have forgotten something important to take, because you are in a habit of taking it. And brain's way to communicate to you is through certain discomfort. Many people, they come to me with the same kind of input, that I am feeling now lethargic, very weak, unable to get a sleep. So these are brain is again and again asking you what happened, why you forgot to take tea, why you are not taking that, those are all stimulant, animal food is stimulant, right. So brain is reminding you because it had been your habit, number one, but that does not happen to everybody, 10% of the patient. So on the first day in my diabetes tour itself, I give this warning that 10% of the patient it happens. If it happens, don't worry, it will go on its own, don't pay much attention to that temporary discomforts, number one. Number two, if you still continue with it, right, that you don't take dairy product for example for 21 days. So it is a cycle of 21 days, brain switches off that craving. If you do anything for 21 days, which you, for example, alcohol, remember when you took the first time, tasted, you didn't like it, but you continue for 21 days, every 21 days brain switches off or on a particular behavior, particular kind of taste, right. So the food itself is not tasty or tasteless, it is all about 21 days cycle, right. So if it is happening, ignore it, a matter of 21 days and brain will switch off that kind of triggering. It is reminding you, brain don't communicate in languages, it communicate in symptom. So
Doctor, two questions. One is that there are certain problems which require the surgery. So for example, like I myself am facing the problem of DNS, like this is a very common problem also, but because of deviated nasal septum, like I face the sinus issues and sleeping disorder. So does this require a surgery? That is one. And second thing is, as you mentioned about the fruits and the vegetables, there are a lot of pesticides which are being there in all these things. So does that also will going to harm if to certain
I got the question. This is a very common question, the second one, right. I have in all my presentation, this is the first few questions which people ask, but let me come to the first question first, which is specific to you. You see, one common answer, God has packed you not to open it again, right. Humans are not God, and whenever any surgery happens, right, you are not the same person. I had one and only surgery when I was 4-year-old, open heart surgery, I just discussed with you, sir. So even now I can feel that discomfort if I touch here, right. 4 years, now I am 46, more than 40 years, right. So any surgery, right, you are not the original one, right. So number one, right, only thing is if it is accidental, some damage happened, then you are repairing it, that is different. But otherwise any surgery, whether heart surgery or whether this sinus surgery, so that will be disastrous, don't do it. Now the question is how to relieve it. Very specific answer I am giving you, anything connected with sinus, this place or the lungs. In the morning along with DIP diet, you add citrus fruit juice. Citrus fruit juice means like oranges and pineapple, big glass, 300 ml with lot of fiber, and sip it in 15 minutes. Number one. Number two, you know jal niti, right, where you take the one, right, but that is something difficult, yoga posture not everybody can do, including me, but there is the easier version of that. It has come in the mainstream medical stores, that is in India, many company like Cipla, they are producing it, bottle like a baby's milk bottle with a right opening, which you fit in a nostril and you just pump it, water comes and it goes. It is as simple as any child can do it. So you can buy it and you do it every alternate day for 1 month along with DIP diet, along with citrus fruit juice. So it is enough time to correct anything related to ENT, this, and anything related to this, you add this, you get the solution 1 month. Then you stop, be on a normal DIP diet, stop citrus fruit juice, stop that intervention of jal niti. Yeah, sorry, pesticide question is left, let me.
This question is actually, I know answers because I've watched so many videos, this is for everybody. The why we should finish our dinner before 8 p.m. What's the actual reason? We take after what happened. Secondly, this refined salt, and if we say send our mountain salt, rock salt. So which one is better? Should we take a note of what's the salt?
Yeah. So these two questions and the third question. These are very important, and I want that you should take back this question and answer for you. It will really help more than anything else. That don't eat after 8 p.m. Rather try to eat before sunset. Why? What the scientific logic is, you see, I'll give you one example which I gave yesterday, but it is important that you eat within the bracket of 12 hours. If you start eating at 7 a.m., you finish eating by 7 p.m. and 12 hours you don't eat. That is equivalent to fasting, 12-hour fasting every day. So when you don't eat in those 12 hours, that is 7 p.m. to next day 7 a.m., that is the time when the body breaks your stone, your tumor, your cyst. You don't know what all is there, because inside stone, inside tumor, inside cyst, there is lot of nutrition, good things, and body, since you are not providing food, but body still need food even the rest of the 12 hours, so body break that and take out the nutrition and send it to the organ where it is needed the most. So you got rid of the stone also, you got rid of the tumor also, which you really want, and it is actually recycling. That is called autophagy. But autophagy can happen only if you don't eat for at least 12 hours a day, right? So that is one very big important thing, number one. Number two, after sunset, body is in a curative mode. Curative mode means it takes the blood from the stomach, which takes about 25% of the blood circulation, and distribute to those organs which is damaged, right? Inflammatory organs. So, but if you start eating say at 10 o'clock, which we are going to do tonight also, right? For the one last day, right? You start all this from tomorrow morning, right? So, when you every day you eat at 10 p.m. say, so this means you are giving lesser time for the body to heal. Yeah, this means whenever you are eating, this part needs 25% of the blood supply. But when you are not eating, that 25% access is not required, so body redirect it to those organs where there is a internal inflammation, right? So this means you eat within a bracket of 12 hours. I am not saying you eat less, I say eat in less time and let 12 hours don't eat. Autophagy. Your body will recycle the waste which otherwise will cause a lot of problem in your future, right? So this is one thing. Second question is salt. Salt is not a food. You stop eating salt, right? I know that you will not like the food without salt, but that is for how many days only? 21 days. After 21 days, I can bet if anybody will add salt in your food, you will not like it in the same way as not having salt, you don't like it. So when I eat food, it has been long time, I don't take salt, because it's not that I know why salt is bad, it's just that I don't like the taste, right? So the taste you have developed not in one day. The first time when you ate salt in your childhood, you may not be liking it, but you ate it for several days and it became a taste. So what is taste? Taste is anything which continue for few days, right? So something very tasty to you may not be tasty to me because I did not take it for 21 days, that's all, right? So taste is only limited to that 21 days. So salt, what it does, when you take salt in its own, salt is required in the body when it comes from the vegetables, right? But you extract it, and as a single nutrient when you take it, that salt in a tiny amount, say 1 spoon, it accumulate the water retention happens. So if you don't take salt for 1 day, I am not saying 1 week, 24 hours, you lose 1 kg weight, and that is not your fat, that is a fluid retention, right? Your fluid will go away, and the fluid is going away in 1 day, your blood pressure will reduce, and blood pressure will reduce, you will be forced to stop the blood pressure medication, otherwise you will go to hypotension. You understand hypotension, right? That is low blood pressure. So the moment you stop your salt, warning is you must stop the blood pressure medication, because what is the cause of blood pressure? For 90% of it, the cause is fluid retention. Why fluid retention? Because humans like salt, right? Salt is needed by the body, iodine is needed by the body, but not in its isolated form. When it comes from vegetable in a very small quantity, that is what the body absorbs, which we have learnt it today, right? Coming to the third question, that is pesticide. See, now think you go to the vegetable shop, you buy vegetable in a bag, you come back, you wash it, you even peel it off. Still, do you think the vegetable is having pesticides? Yes or no? Yes. Now you put it on a container, you cook it. While you are cooking it, do you think that pesticide runs away from the container? So whether you cook or not cook, the amount of pesticide remains the same. Right? Many people say the pesticide die when you cook it. Pesticide is non-living, it cannot die. So what difference you are doing? The amount of pesticide which you have been eating till now, it is the same. So I am not asking to eat different food, I am only asking to eat in a different way the same food without cooking. But those who eat animal, right? So do you think animal is fed with organic vegetables? Right? So they are fed with even more harmful chemicals and more harmful, right, harmfully grown vegetables and leaves, etc. Right? So and you see these pesticides, they are non-biodegradable. This means it is very difficult to get out of the body. It comes in but it gets blocked. And the same is true for the animals. When you eat animal, you are eating about 100 times more pesticide than when you eat vegetables, because it goes in the body but doesn't come out. Right? So that body which you are eating is not just meat, it is a pesticide also. So, but on the other hand, when you eat this kind of food, live enzyme is also there. And live enzyme, when it travels in this food pipe, it keeps on catching those chemicals which can be harmful to you. Right? So you are killing the soldier and retaining the pesticide when you cook the food. Right? So first of all, I want to tell you that it is our responsibility to find a way where we get more organic rather than just complaining about it. After all, we are also a part of the society. Right? We have to find a part. We have to be a part of solution. Many of my friends, they collect together 5-6 friends. They get a small land as on rent and they put one Mali small farmer, and at least they get 25% of the vegetables from that. At least you have to do some initiative. Right? Till that time you get the vegetable from wherever you are getting. At least that's what I am doing for last 12 years. No organics, simply from the next door vegetable shop. Right? Even then I see the response is wonderful. Imagine if you get a organic kind of vegetables, then what will be the response? Right? Yes, sir. You see, one thing will happen to you as it happened to me, that when you are eating this way, you are exactly eating water. This fruits and vegetable in its raw state is 70% water only. So you will less likely to feel thirsty, right? So because you are eating mineral water also, eating water I say, right? Because in the vegetable and fruits are trapped water, 70%, 80%, 90%. So throughout the day you are hydrated. So your requirement for water from other than fruits and vegetable will be very less, almost negligible. So whenever you feel thirsty, you get the water from whatever source you are getting. But because you are not depending for water from any other source, you are depending now from vegetable and fruits, which is the best source of water in the world. The 12-hour fast, that you can drink water if you feel thirsty. Only if you feel thirsty, then you can drink water. That's all. Yes, yes, please.
Fruit can be eaten, like a couple of days back when I met you, you said like fruit can be eaten any time, even in the
Yes, yes, yes.
What about that 12 hours?
Yes, yes. Now the first thing is, I want you to restrict yourself till 12 hours, eating everything. Rest 12 hours should be fasting. But if you decide that I have to eat something, let it be the fruits, because they are the one which get absorbed by the body the fastest, 40 minutes. If you drink milk, it takes 18 hours. This means after 18 hours, still the milk is there in the stomach. Just imagine if the milk is outside in the kitchen for 18 hours, what happens to the milk? It gets spoiled. The same thing happens in the stomach. But the fruits, it takes 40 minutes. So first of all, avoid eating anything, right? But if you really want to eat something, then the first choice is fruits.
But they say that the fruit has to be eaten in the morning, not in the evening time.
Yeah, that's how the myth grows. But I say that don't believe them, don't believe me, you test yourself. Do it this way for about 15 days and see if the result is there, carry on with it. Yes.
It's the best diet for all the sickness.
Yeah, I'll give you one quick tip for you. You do this experiment. Number one, if you have common cold, if you have fever, if you have flu, if you have viral and infectious kind of any symptoms, the moment you have the first symptom, for next 72 hours, stop plate 2, it becomes the medicine. Rest of the DIP diet becomes a medicine, and you will be amazed your body temperature will not go more than 100 degrees. or 101 degree. It will be little high but not high. The fever will subside and it takes about 3 days, right? Already Surjit ji has explained. DIP diet minus plate 2 becomes a medicine for fever. It takes about 3 days to be free of fever, free of the virus, right? Fever will be controlled within 4 hours, but the virus you will be getting rid of within 72 hours. Now coming to any kind of things, discomfort with the stomach, let's say diarrhea, loose motion, constipation, whatever name it can be, heartburn, indigestion, yeah, gastric esophagus reflux disease, whatever name it can be. 24 hours, stop eating anything, only be on coconut water fasting. One day, I am not saying 1 week, one day. Next day you see the thing is resolved. Stomach respond very quickly for 1 day fasting. Anytime you get the first symptom of stomach upset, any way upset, any discomfort, stop eating for 24 hours. But include coconut water the whole day. How many glasses? Fresh coconut water, 8 to 10 glasses, maybe every 1 hour, every 2 hours. Okay.
Good evening, Doctor. Thank you for your presentation yesterday and today. In fact, it has given me some direction, as to what to take. Because I have been diagnosed diabetes 3 years back, and I haven't taken a tablet because I was doing small research and basically tried to do whatever I could in my own way. But always my readings were high, and everybody used to tell me, you have to go on, insulin and stuff like that. But now I also wanted to check with you because you said yesterday you would give us the recipe for the tea.
Yeah, Hunza tea. Yeah. Meanwhile, you ask questions. I'll just display it on the screen. You can click the picture and you can It's there in the Google also, right? But for your ease, let me just demonstrate. Put it here on the screen also. Yeah, you can just click a picture if you want. So this is the tea which all the ingredients you see, it is available already in the kitchen, and it takes the same amount of time to prepare as you prepare the normal tea. So those who are having a habit of having a morning tea, they cannot escape that. They can replace that with Hunza tea, and if you do it, you don't have the craving for tea. At the same time, you maintain the DIP diet principle also. Yeah. Now you see, once you eat in plate 1, plate 2, I said you eat in a conventional way as you used to eat whatever you used to eat, right? I am not interfering with your plate 2. That is for most of the patient. Only if the patient is a severe heart disease patient, kidney failure patient, cancer patient, then I try to interfere in the plate 2. Then comes oil, which oil or how much, or should we or should we not. But here all of you seems to be really healthy. So plate 2 you can indulge your way in the same way, but yes, you try to limit oil, right? Then it seems that your question is which kind of oil should we take or use. You see, when you heat any kind of oil, ultimately the chemical structure becomes equally harmful for all kind of oil, mustard oil, olive oil, this oil, that oil. So my advice is you buy the oil which is the cheapest, at least you save some money, right? Huh? Supposed to eat? Yeah. Fruits, not lot of fruits. That is according to the calculation till 12 noon. But it is whether it is should be called as a lot of, or that is your own mental limit. But I don't consider that lot.
Can you mix like acidic versus sugary?
Yeah, avoid doing that. If you do that, for example, I'll give you one specific example. We are in a habit of having desserts, and most of the time after dinner we indulge in fruits, right, as a dessert, mango after. If you have mango in empty stomach, it will never increase the blood sugar, but if you have it as a dessert after food, then only it will increase the blood sugar. So what you have is not important, also important is when you are having that, right? So don't mix it. Have it before, not after, and not with.
I attended your seminar in Bangalore in 2010. You were
Yeah.
inspired by you that time. So you were emphasizing a lot on having wheatgrass as a source of nutrients.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
We could also
Yeah,
incorporate that.
yeah. Wheatgrass is a, now I recommend more for the people who are a cancer patient or having some kind of blood disease for them, right? Because it is very difficult to grow and you will not find in the market. So that was 2010. I realized that I have to make it simple so that people can follow it. There are many more things which are very wonderful for the body, but it is very difficult to follow and adopt. So normally in a first meeting I avoid sharing those things. Maybe when you meet again I will make it difficult for you, right? But since it is the first meeting I will share those things which works every time, but which is not very difficult to adopt. But yes, if you can include that in your lifestyle, it is going to add a lot of value.
Yes, good evening, doctor. I have two questions. One is related to Hamza tea, because you mentioned that you should take food up to 12 o'clock. Can we have this tea before that, or?
Yeah, Hunza tea is a kind of tea which you can have any time and many times.
All day.
All day.
Even before food.
No restriction, no limitation.
And second question is related, slightly different. Are there some treatments for the cancer patients which you are working on, or which you can share, particularly when people are on chemotherapy and other treatments?
Yeah. So cancer patients, I'll give you one specific example. For example, blood cancer. Normally if you know anybody who had been a blood cancer patient, so you also know that they are dead now, because some cancer where the patient die very soon, fastest, and one of them is a blood cancer. But I have seen my experience with my patients that the moment you put them on this diet, where I stop even the plate 2, I am very strict about that, then I see the result is quite amazing and people they live. So this is the general diet which I shared with you, but in those specific conditions I customize the diet according to the patient's need, right? If it is a dialysis patient, then there is some more modification, right? So here also for diabetes patient itself there is 2-3 modification, diet A, diet B, diet C, you saw it, right? So surely there is a diet for that which is similar to that but not exactly the same, right? So yeah, that I wrote a book also, you will find in this book why the mortality rate drops when the doctors go on strike. Whenever the doctor go on strike, the health of the citizen that increases. It is all over the world, right? So this one copy is this for you. You can read it in your leisure time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And for rest of you, if you want to read the, just let me finish this, and then if you want to read this book, you will get the some valuable input. What kind of diet? So you can go to my website biswaroop.com/reference. And you will get the e-book free.
Recently found a news in the newspaper. Japan is going to stop production of microwave oven from 2020.
Yeah.
Everybody has got microwave at home, at least one a day. Everybody uses it either for eating or for cooking. What is your opinion about this microwave?
So yeah, I'll take 1 minute to explain this. First of all, understand what is microwave. Microwave is a kind of wave. It initiate oscillation of H2O, water molecule, at the rate of 1 million times in 1 second, right? May not be exactly 1 million or 2 million, but in million times in 1 second, oscillating H2O very quickly, right? The water, and when it oscillate at that speed, so the H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, the bondage it breaks, right? And this complete things, it causes heat production, right? And you see the container don't become hot because container don't have water, but the food which is having water trapped in it, that becomes hot, right? If you put a biscuit which is not having any water, it will not become hot inside the microwave oven. So microwave oven is very damaging because it is converting the water H2O into a poison. So if I say from tomorrow you stop using microwave oven, you may not like the idea because you have invested so much money in buying microwave. But I give you an idea how to still use microwave and be healthy, and that is, you see in microwave there is a door, right? So you place the microwave like this and door open like this, right? And you can use it as a dustbin and then you close the door, right? So that is the only use for microwave oven, nothing else, right?
May I ask you a question, doctor?
By regularly using, we will use our immunity power
It will?
Immunity power of the body.
It will reduce.
In
Yeah.
relation with the microwave.
Yeah, it causes cancer, it causes liver failure, it reduces immunity surely. So the next, you stop it, you just throw it. Yeah, so with this we come to the conclusion of this. You must be feeling that more we go ahead, more question is coming. The number of questions which you may be having in the beginning of the training, now the number of questions must be much more than what, and that should be the spirit. So but that will give me opportunity to be with you more time. I am sure that you are going to invite me again, and with this I close this. Hope to see you again. Thank you.